On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what one. A blessed and wonderful Monday evening to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public, and also members of the diaspora. So please, like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog, so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we're going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. We're going to kick it off over there in the Garden Parish of St. Anne, smack in the middle of Ochi. A female student is now hospitalized, suffering from gunshot wounds after a knockings and clappings at the Ochi High School. Yeah man, you heard me correct. Now, a female student at the Ochi High School in St. Anne is nursing a bullet wound to the leg, whilst a 14-year-old male student is now in the custody of the police for knockings and clappings with intent. The female student's condition is not considered life-threatening, thank God for that. A Glock 9mm pistol was also recovered from the scene. Now we are going to hear from Senior Superintendent of Police, Dwight Powell, head of the St. Anne Police. He stated that the 14-year-old male student was allegedly playing with the Glock pistol in the classroom sometime around 12:45 p.m. Monday, that today in the evening. It is said that they were passing around the firearm, inspecting the firearm and basically being a show-off, same of a strap in the classroom. And it is said that the gun went off and conned up the female student. Now it is also stated that the female student was not among the group toying around with the illegal weapon. Now listen to what the Senior Superintendent of Police in charge of St. Anne has to say. Listen.
Information received and investigation carried out indicated that a 14-year-old male student of Pineapple Rochery, St. Anne, took a firearm to school. He was in the social study lab along with other students when they were handling the firearm and it went off, injuring a 12-year-old female student. She was assisted to the St. Anne's Hospital by the grade coordinator, where she is being treated for a gunshot wound to her thigh. She is in serious but stable condition. Teachers were alerted and went to the classroom, where one grey and black knapsack was recovered from the floor containing one firearm. We are probing this shooting incident and we are following lead as to how and by what means the student came in possession of the firearm.
Now a whole heap of things can come of this, because if the student that took the firearm to school, if his parents or siblings or a close family member is not the top Knockist and Clappist that he got the firearm from or got access to the firearm through, in people in a whole heap of hot water. Because we know how the criminal underworld set. If he is just a little ticky in terms of the bad man world, he have to go pay for that. And given the fact that he's 14 years old, his parents have to go pay for that. And failure in doing so can put their lives and also other close family members' lives in jeopardy. So a man might see this bad man world and feel like, say, I saw it going on. It's a dog type of world. Or one of them type of world there, where me always a talk about. We're rough. Yeah, man. So we're going to talk about another incident involving another 14-year-old. But this time, the 14-year-old was on the receiving end of some fatal bullets to his body by the police. Now, this took place in the parish of Manchester, and it took place on Sunday. Now, the victim of Sunday's fatal knockings and clappings in Williamsfield, Manchester, has since been identified as this person presently on your screen, 14-year-old Mikhail Simpson, said to be a grade 8 student of Belfield High School in the parish. Now, it is reported that the police observed a Toyota Mark X motor vehicle turning back at a vehicular checkpoint in Kendal, Manchester, which aroused the suspicion of the police. It is said that they drove towards the vehicle and the vehicle sped off. The police stated that they gave chase and the vehicle slammed into a pickup traveling in the opposite direction. It is also stated that when the pursuit ended, Mikhail was found suffering from bullet wounds. It is said that he was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced you know what. 2 other persons, including his older brother, Malik Simpson, escaped from the car. And it is said that he's been treated for a corner wound to his face sustained during the ordeal. Now, the police them say is a shootout. And a family member, his sister identified as Yannick Dixon, is stating otherwise. Now we are going to hear from the sister. And of course, I'm going to give my commentary on this knockings and clappings. Listen.
Elder sister of Mikhail Simpson and Malik Simpson. My 14-year-old brother was killed in cold blood yesterday by the police. They are aware of us, they know us because they are from Kendal. My brothers were born and raised in Kendal, even though they live with their dad in Belfield. So they know him, so they know exactly who it was that was in the vehicle. And yet still, they did not give them a chance, any of them, to stop and to find out what was happening. They just shoot up the car and just killed my brother in cold blood. He is just 14 years old, just a grade 8 student at Belfield High School, and they just killed him just like that for nothing. What is life? What can I tell my mother to console her? They were just coming from church with my mother, right? I live in Trelawney currently, and they called me on video call when they were at church, and they let me speak to everybody in church before it started. And then after church, because it is Father's Day, I got the chance to, Malik called me and we spoke to everybody at home, and they are now finished, get them dinner, and they were heading back home. And just like that, then just kill my brother, so just like that, for nothing, no reason. And then now they're going to say that it's a man and it was a shootout. My brothers were just coming from church, they're coming from church, and they just killed him. Just like that, my other brother is now suffering from contractions to the face. It's currently lodged in his face. Where it is, it's very sensitive, so they cannot operate just yet. They have to do something to get it to migrate so that they will be able to operate safely. But I need justice. Something has to be done. A proper investigation needs to be done. No shooting, they reported that it was shootout. What did my brother, what would my 14-year-old have? My brother, what would he have to do a shooting? I want them, I don't know. The person who did it, I would love if they could face my mother and explain Explain to her why you killed my brother. My 14-year-old brother. He called his father and he said, Daddy, because he was at mommy. And he said, Dad, I have exam, tomorrow, make sure you take up my uniform. Right? And he said, don't worry, Malik, take it up already. He said, may I beg you iron it because I'm going to make you proud. I'm going to do the exam. See there? You know, get to reach home. You know, get to go doing exam. He did not get to live a full life for us to be proud. And I'm just demanding justice.
Now, preliminary reports suggest that sometime around 5 p.m. Sunday evening, that's yesterday, the police were at a vehicular checkpoint in Kendall when a white Toyota Mark X car was observed turning in what appeared to be an attempt to elude law enforcement. Further reports suggest that the Mark X then traveled towards Williamsfield, where another police team attempted to intercept the motor vehicle. It is said a high-speed chase and a shootout reportedly ensued. It is said that during the chase, the Mark X crashed into a pickup near the Williamsfield train line. The driver of the pickup sustained minor injuries to his hand and had to seek cover during the knockings and clappings. The Mark X came to a stop near the Hope Village bar. 2 occupants of the car escaped on foot. A third occupant, which is the 14-year-old, was found suffering from what appears to be some corner wounds and was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced you know what. One of the occupants that escaped from the motor vehicle turned up at hospital suffering from some corner wounds and is presently under police guard. Now, there's a lot of unanswered questions here. 2 police units, according to the police statement, tried to stop the vehicle. If the brothers was as innocent as the sister is saying, why were they trying to elude not just 1, but 2 police units? And the only reason why the car came to a halt is because it crashed in the pickup. So sister, you need to have dialogue with the older brother who is alive as to what really transpired. Because if you're 2 innocent little boys coming from church, police stop you. Let's just say you see the first police vehicle and you're carrying us straight. So you decide to turn back for avoid getting a ticket. You see a second police vehicle try to pull you over whilst the other one is following you closely behind, and you continue to drive away from the 2 police unit. That would not be a smart move if just you're carrying us straight. The only logical reason for you to continue to drive away from the police is if something else in the vehicle where you don't want the police them to find. But the fact that 2 persons escape out of the vehicle, 1 turn up a hospital, right there, so that still no look right. So again, whole heap of questions for answer. So on the Spot News Media will most definitely seek to figure out the personalities of these brothers and also to find out who was the 3rd person in that motor vehicle and update you in subsequent newscast. Now, in recent times, we have seen an increase of police presence in the capital city of Montego Bay. Now, the St. James police are crediting the Beat Officer Patrol Division, that's the BOPD, for playing a major role in the recent apprehension of 2 wanted criminal elements who are linked to some series of knockings and clappings, which has resulted in the loss of life of some people in the parish. Now we're going to hear from the superintendent in charge of the St. James Police Division, that's Superintendent Aaron Samuels, as he weighs in on this new initiative in the St. James Police Division. Listen.
The success of the Beat Officer Patrol Division is testament to the fact that we have, since last week, aided in the arrest of 2 suspects involved in a murder that took place in the Granville space. These suspects are trying to flee via the bus park, and the team that operates within the bus terminus were able to find these persons, apprehend them, and through investigations were able to find the other suspect. Unfortunately, that suspect challenged the police officers and he was fatally shot. Our CSS territorial officer, DSP Salki, will be out working with the team here as well with our safe school patrols that operates in the morning and in the afternoon, ensuring that the students are safe within the township. So they will merge and aid the BOPD to ensure that the students are safe and are able to traverse to and from school in a safe environment.
So the St. James Police Division still holds the title of being the most murderous police division. Between January 1 and June 9th of this year, 70 knockings and clappings, which resulted in fatalities, were recorded in the parish. And that is 18 fewer than the 88 recorded over the corresponding period in 2023. Well, we're glad for that still. 18 less. That's something to be grateful for. So in the meantime, Operations Officer for the St. James Police Division, that's Deputy Superintendent Linroy Edwards, says the police will be embarking on consistent operations to rid the parish of criminal elements. Listen.
So the St. James Police, in collaboration with our other JSF partners and the Jamaica Defence Force, has launched a major offensive against criminal gangs in and around the parish of St. James. The intention is to target those criminals who have over time made these communities uncomfortable for decent, law-abiding citizens. Our operational initiative will see us using a number of operational options, and we'll be using all that is available at our disposal to ensure peace and tranquility obtained in these communities. There are some persons who the communities can do without, and as such, it's our intention to launch operations on a 24-hour basis, morning, noon, night, daylight, consistently throughout these communities. And even though we are armed with pepper spray, batons, and other less lethal devices, we are also equipped with firearms. So we ask that these criminals surrender so we can take them into custody without any form of incidents. However, if they choose to challenge us and use their weapons against us, we won't hesitate to respond likewise. So we ask the citizens of these communities to cooperate and collaborate with us as we make a serious effort trying to keep the peace in St. James. We'll be as professional as best as possible. Even though you may be inconvenienced, your human rights will be observed. But these criminals will be pursuing them throughout the length and breadth of St. James on a consistent and continuous basis until the peace is maintained and observed.
Now the last thing that we're going to talk about is another classic example of St. James is not a real place. Because the crop of criminal where St. James have, different from the rest of Knockist and Clappers them in Jamaica, trust me. I don't know if I fool them extra fool or I brave them extra brave, but something right here, sir. Now a top criminal element from St. James who has been on the run for over 3 years for allegedly knocking it and clapping it upon the police in St. James was arrested while at a visa appointment at the embassy in the corporate area in Kingston and St. Andrew. Now on your screen is the criminal element in question. 34-year-old Jim Warren, otherwise called Kino. He's of a Top Hill, Mount Carey address in St. James. It is said that he was later charged with shooting with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, and unauthorized possession of ammunition. Now the charges stem from a knockings and clappings incident on the night of Monday, February 5th, 2018. It is said that the police were on a patrol sometime around 6:30 p.m. in the evening in the rent land area of Mount Carey in St. James when, upon seeing the cops, Warren reportedly opened gunfire at the team before making good his escape in the area. Years later, on Monday, June 3rd, 2024, Warren turned up at an embassy in St. Andrew where he had applied for a visa. The police stated that checks made by the representatives revealed that Warren was listed among a group of wanted criminal elements in St. James. His application was of course denied, and he was immediately arrested and later charged for the 2018 knockings and clappings with the police. His court date is to be finalized. Now this brother here knows him on wanted list because he has been featured several times, as I can see on your screen, on Wanted Wednesdays. Him not feel like say the US are gonna run a quick check upon him through the JCF database to see if he wanted. Boy, may I tell you, again, I don't know if I fool them fool or I brave them brave, but me more aside with the fool still because of them say fully done. Yeah, man. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in a subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.